Okay, we'd like to call to order the Town of Niskuna Planning Board and Zoning Commission December 22nd, 2025 meeting. Ms. Bergami, could you please call the roll?
Mr. Laflamme,
Here.
Ms. Strain,
Here.
Mr. Khan,
Here.
Ms. Belofsky,
Here.
Ms. Gold,
Present.
Mr. Millspaw,
Here.
Mr. Bill and Calhoun.
Here.
Chairman Darpino.
Here. Next up is the approval of the December 8th, 2025 meeting minutes. Could I get a motion? Moved by Ms. Strang,
Second.
second by Ms. Belofsky. Any comments or corrections? Okay, I had one minor one. On line 101, I think the word "be" just needs to be changed to "Ben." So it would read, "He had tried to get information on the lines, but Verizon had not been helpful." So, okay. I'll make a motion to amend the December 8th, 2025 meeting minutes. Could I get a second? Second by Ms. Strang. All in favor, just state by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. And all in favor of approving the amended December 8th, 2025 meeting minutes, state by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay. Meeting minutes are approved. We do not have any public hearings, so we'll move to privilege of the floor. Privilege of the floor is open to any resident of Niskuna wishing to talk about any planning or zoning matter. Please approach the podium and state your name and address for the record.
Hi, I'm virtually attending the meeting. This is Asad Mufti.
This is privilege of the floor. We're having a little hard time hearing you.
Oh,
Do you want to identify yourself? Are you an agenda item tonight?
yes, I should be. And this is Asad Mufti.
Oh, Assad. Yeah, you're here.
yes,
So
yes.
you'll speak a little bit later.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Laura, it looks like no one online is here for privilege of the floor. Did you receive any correspondence?
I didn't receive any emails.
Okay. All right. So last call for privilege of the floor. Seeing as no one, we'll close privilege of the floor. Next up is unfinished business. We have one item on that, which is Resolution 2025-33, a resolution for site plan approval for exterior facade and roof painting at Hannaford at 3333 Council Road. Now therefore, be it hereby resolved that this Planning Board and Zoning Commission does hereby classify this application as a Type 2 action under seeker regulations and no further action is required. And be it further resolved that the Planning Board and Zoning Commission has determined that the proposed waiver for 3 additional facade signs would have a minimum negative effect on the aesthetics and is compatible with existing facades and does hereby grant said waiver as outlined above. And be it further resolved that the Planning Board and Zoning Commission finds the above referenced site plan meets the requirements of the zoning code and therefore hereby approves this site plan with the following conditions. 1, landscaping. Prior to completion of the building permit, the health of the existing landscaping shall be reviewed by the tree council and property owner together, and any dead or dying vegetation will be replanted. May I get a motion? Moved by Ms. Strang. Second by Ms. Belofsky. Do we have a representative from the applicant online?
Yeah, he's there.
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Okay,
Um,
state your name and record your name for the
My
record.
name is Robert Sasser with Ty and Bond Engineering, representing Martin's Foods of South Burlington and Hannaford Brothers. Following the planning board discussion on the 8th, we did submit a letter to address the board's request for clarification. We're confirming that the signage shown on the elevations in the Appendix B of that letter are in fact the installed signs for the site, and that we're clarifying the lighting, height, and location in Appendix C. I think the only other question that was outstanding was with regards to the generator at the rear of the store. It is going to change in size, but there are no impacts related to the rear house truck traffic loading operations or travel width that is existing there now. It's just going to be slightly longer to accommodate the additional load from the interior renovations.
Okay. So to put a summary onto this, some of the signage that was currently installed when I think the building was renovated years ago, didn't have some of the proper documentation, or it wasn't really clear what was there. So we figured this was a good opportunity to collect all that information, put that together so it is on the record. So if Hannaford does have another application or something, we can tie that all together. The Hannaford to go pickup looks like it's got a new, smaller sign that's a little crisper than the one that's there now, which will be part of the signage package. Citizens Bank and looks like the welcome sign count towards those areas there for the waivers, and the lighting, which is going to be positioned right around that pickup area right there.
Yep.
Okay. Color scheme, again, looks like it's moving in the direction of something that we encourage for our commercial zones, or incorporating some of the more earth tones in there, and painting the roof, and also the gold banding that's around the building.
Great.
Okay. Open it up to discussion. Any other concerns or comments?
I appreciate the clarification and the
Okay.
upgrade to that Hannaford to go site.
All right. Seeing as nothing further, Ms. Bergami, could you please call the roll?
Mr. Laflamme?
Aye.
Ms. Strain?
Aye.
Mr. Khan?
Aye.
Ms. Bilofsky?
Aye.
Ms. Gold?
Aye.
Mr. Millspaw?
Aye.
Chairman Dorpino?
Aye, resolution passed. All right, thank you.
Great. Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone.
You as well.
Oh, I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the meeting. If you have legal questions, Elena is online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Okay, next up is we have new business. So the first up is Resolution 2025-34, resolution for a site plan approval of a 6-foot by 12-foot garbage dumpster enclosure at 1335 Balltown Road. There is not a project lead, so we'll go right into the resolution. Now, therefore, be it hereby resolved that the Planning Board and Zoning Commission does hereby classify this application as a Type 2 action under seeker regulations, and no further action is required. Further resolved that the Planning Board and Zoning Commission finds the above referenced site plan application meets the requirements of the zoning code, and therefore hereby approves site plan application with the following conditions. 1, the screening of the dumpster enclosure and surrounding landscaping are critical to reducing impacts of the new location on adjacent residents. Therefore, the final landscaping plan shall be reviewed and approved by the Niskayuna Tree Council, which shall include more native and disease-resistant species. May I get a motion?
I so move.
Okay. Motion by Ms. Gold, second by Mr. Laflamme. Do we have a representative from the applicant here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so just to quickly recap, in the package, we've got the updated site plan. The landscaping was discussed. I think the takeaways from the last meeting was that the position of it on the rear of the property between the two trees and some reconfigured parking looked like a very logical place to put the enclosure. We talked about garbage pickup and timing and things like that. So it looks like the structure will have significant square footage to house the small 4-yard dumpster plus any of the other rolling bins and anything else that needs to be stored in there. I think that covered pretty much everything, right?
So, and I
Yeah.
guess just one clarification, Laura. As of today, you have not received any information from that at least one resident that lives in Buxton, right?
No, nope. I still
Okay.
have not heard from them.
Okay, and right, and so, Mr. Smiduski, let me just reiterate that condition on the resolution. I think the landscaping and making this dumpster area look good, especially at the facing of Balltown Road, Buxton. I think that's something you really want to be careful about.
I totally understand. I did get the information from Laura and I did create, there were recommendations from either the tree group or I can't remember, Laura, who it was from, but I did create a revised design. I just emailed it to Laura, but I can share the screen if you want. Pretty much all the suggestions for more native plants. I've adopted those if you want to see that, but I can assure you it's going to look good in the end. And I will provide finished photos. And, but but if you want to see the revised design, but it's the recommendations from your group.
Yeah, the tree council.
Yeah.
And I did receive it.
Okay.
It does
Yeah.
incorporate the recommendations.
Yeah, I'm okay not seeing it here. It's just a reminder. I understand this is the most logical place for both your functioning, the businesses that are there right now, but also, you know, it's awfully close to a resident that hasn't articulated something yet. So
So just as a clarification, even though you sent that information on, usually we don't review information that's brought to the meetings at this time. But what we can do is we do have this plan that's incorporated in there. If there's significant plantings that flank both sides of it and the backside, whatever that tree council / planning department deems appropriate, that's fine with us. We generally delegate that as long as it's followed relatively closely to what's here.
Sounds good.
It,
All right.
it is the same plan. He just swapped out the species, so they're
Oh,
more native.
that's it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about it, the one thing is I thought the hydrangeas would look better than the dogwoods, but it's not a big deal either way.
Okay. Great. All right. If there's no further discussion, Ms. Bergami, could you please call the roll?
Mr. Laflamme,
aye.
Ms. Strain,
Aye.
Mr. Khan,
Aye.
Ms. Belowski,
Aye.
Ms. Gold,
Aye.
Mr. Millspaw,
Aye.
Chairman Dorpino.
Aye. Resolution passed. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy
Thank you.
holidays to you as well. Okay. Last item on new business is a recommendation to the ZBA for 398, 360 Anthony Street. This is J-Dog Junk Removal, and it's an application for a lot line adjustment. Mr. Khan is the project lead, so I'll turn it over to him to give a recap of where we are.
Yes, and you know, the most straightforward way to approach this is basically setting right something that we had decided on and the ZBA had decided on back in the 2018 timeframe, right? I think that's the right date, right, Laura? 2018. And so the applicants before us again, you know, it's how, you know, legal processes work. They have to repeat through just because of the time that's elapsed on this. So the outcome here is to get that lot line adjustment, and it triggered basically two variances, a depth variance and a, what's the other one? A setback variance that will have to go to the ZBA. Included in the packages are, you know, verbatim what was decided in 2018. Nothing has changed with our laws. Nothing has changed with the situation of the property. So I recommend we go ahead and answer the questions pretty much in accordance with what has been there and established so that this lot line can finally get filed and the applicant can, you know, move and hopefully get a good outcome from the ZBA as they did once before. This is about as straightforward as it gets. It's just repeating history verbatim with nothing changing. So I guess we can do the questions.
Okay, we'll just go through, just to open up the discussion to other board members if there's any other thoughts or concerns on this. I concur with Mr. Khan's summary of what this is. It's relatively straightforward. It's cleaning up something that was not completed several years ago, and the applicant's back to get it finished up. Okay. All right, so as we do with every ZBA referral, we have 3 questions that we ask. So the first one is the effect on the comprehensive plan.
And so I propose that there is no effect in a comprehensive plan. And I would advance that the reasoning should be the same as it was back in 2018, right? The you know, the proper adjustments being necessary and the primary structure having extended then requires these the setback and depth variances to be granted.
Okay. All right. So all in favor of that there's no effect on the comprehensive plan, state by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so that's 7.
I'll just comment. I think there's a slightly positive effect because the lot will be more conforming.
Oh,
Yep. Thanks, Ms. Gold. It gets us to our argument for the next one. Yeah.
okay. So the next one is the suitability of use.
And I propose that this is suitable. And actually, Ms. Gold gave the key argument for the reasoning, which is actually makes the lot more conforming. And so thus the suitability is, you know, is positive.
Correct. Anytime we have an applicant or applicants that can find ways to make more linear rectangular lot lines, it is helpful in the future. And I agree with that as well.
Great.
Okay. So all in favor of suitability of use, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And then lastly is the recommendation to the ZBA.
And I propose that we recommend that the ZBA grant these area variances
Mhm.
for the reasons cited above.
Reason cited above. Okay.
And also the fact that they'd once granted it before, right, with no changes.
Yeah, we'd like to highlight that when we put that into the letter so that it was clearly documented that this has already once been vetted out. Okay. So all in favor of the recommendation to the ZBA to grant permission on the area variances, state by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay. So our letter will go to the ZBA. I believe the next meeting is January 21st
Yes.
and be on the agenda for that. We have a couple of representatives from the applicants here. Did you have any discussion items or anything? Let's come up to the podium.
Do I need to bring sealed surveys to the ZBA? Because for some reason, when I went back through CT Mayo and we had to get it all done over again, because we didn't do the original one. We weren't the owners then. The other people never followed through with it. But they kept saying something about they can supply me with a sealed survey. I don't know. I didn't need that here, but do I need it there?
No, I
No.
think they just need to know that your measurements are accurate.
I have the survey.
Yeah.
They're just not sealed.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
The sealed one is really what you need for getting it recorded.
Or when I go to the town?
Of the county. Yeah.
Oh, the county. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the that just means that they take their stamp and make it look like really nice. But
Okay.
as long as they redid the survey and the numbers are the same, then the numbers are what the ZBA needs to see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't need to get a.
No, I actually think the application as provided to the planning board right now, as long as the numbers are the same from the new survey, is all that is needed for the zoning board.
Okay,
Perfect.
perfect.
But you
Yeah.
do need to work with us on your application to get that in there.
To the ZBA.
Yeah.
Oh, so I still need another application?
Yeah, which we can help you with.
Oh, okay. So like right after New Year's?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. And then my other question was after the ZBA, it comes back to the planning?
One
board?
more time. Unless we wanted to do a resolution like at our next meeting saying pending a ZBA approval.
I would propose that.
We could definitely have that ready.
Thank you.
So we could put a final resolution on our
Mhm.
next planning
Sorry.
board meeting on January 12th. And then your final meeting would be the ZBA meeting.
Yep.
That'd be wonderful.
Okay,
Yes.
so we can do that if you guys want us to do that.
Right.
Yes.
And that's contingent on the ZBA taking this recommendation, nothing changing. If it changes, it just starts the process over.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
all the same as what it was in 2008.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you all very
Thanks.
much, Mary.
And Laura, just for completeness, assuming a favorable outcome from the ZBA and assuming a favorable vote from the planning board prior to that, pending the ZBA outcome, what are the next steps after that for the applicant? They would have to go to the county and,
Yeah, so at that point, you bring the sealed stamped surveys to us. Mr. Diopino has to sign them, and Mr. Bulkey, our town engineer, has to sign them. Then you pick them up when they're all signed, and then you bring them to Schenectady County to get recorded.
Okay. Perfect. But that's when I need the seal.
Yeah, mhm.
Surveys. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Because they keep saying it. So I'm like, oh, what I
It's
Okay.
very important
Okay.
for the recording, but you don't need it
Right.
yet.
Okay. All
and,
right.
and when is their deadline to have that application to the ZBA done, working with you?
Well, we put it in already because we knew it was coming. Normally, the deadline is December 15th, but we
Mhm.
knew it was coming, and it's not actually really changing from the last time. So we just need to update the documents.
Okay, so I think an interaction between you and Laura as early as possible in the new year.
Well, yeah, like January 7th.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
that'd be fine.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that finishes up new business, so we'll move on to discussion items. First up is 2305 Knott Street East, Katrina's Mexican Grill. This is an application to extend hours of operation until 2 a.m. This is the first time we had the project. And do we have a representative from the applicant? Okay,
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
good, how are you?
Um,
Could you just state your name?
Oscar,
Okay.
My name is Oscar.
Is that mic on? I'm
Yeah.
not hearing you very well.
You don't hear me?
Yeah, just keep it close to your mouth.
All right,
It's
my
very
name is Oscar.
Okay,
Oh,
now we
that's
can
much
hear you.
better.
Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. So, so you recently opened Katrina's, correct?
Yes.
About a year or so, and then now the application is to host other events on kind of like a scheduled basis, and then extending the hours currently from a closing time between 10 or 11 p.m. depending on the day to 2 a.m.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
Could you talk a little bit about what the reasoning is to stay open late?
So the thing is, like, we have a couple events doing like classes salsa night and things like that, and we want to stay like we normally close like 1, but we want to stay like get available to close at 2 to get everybody move and everything. Like get a late music. The business is couple like it's not really busy. It's like a little bit slow, so we try and get it like the kids from the college and community and everybody, but like we try and do like music live and a little bit more like kind of like I don't know, you understand, like party to kids in school can come in and have fun there.
Okay. So your business is unique because it's the only one in that plaza that bookends there.
Yes.
And there's a couple other restaurants that we'll consider like in residential areas
Mhm.
that are or adjacent to residential areas. None of them stay open that late. And I
Yeah.
believe Schenectady County allows they're open till 2 a.m. Is that what it is?
Is that what it is? Because you have a restaurant right now in Schenectady that stays open to 2 a.m., right?
And Syracuse.
Oh, in Syracuse.
Yes.
I always
Syracuse,
say
yeah.
Schenectady. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Onondaga County is 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for Schenectady, is it beyond 2 a.m.?
It is 3,
I'm not
It's later.
sure.
33,
I
yeah.
don't know about
We,
that
we
one.
should
Yeah,
we
we
should
should
check.
find out.
We should
Yeah.
find out and check on
Yeah.
that. It's definitely abnormal for
Yeah, I know.
Niskayuna,
I know.
and there isn't a dense residential area. Although across the street on the west side of Balltown Road, there are some apartments and some single family homes that are there. Could you just talk about you have a patio that faces Balltown Road? Would that be open at 2 a.m.?
No.
Okay.
It's not like dance party or something like that. The thing is like the other day we have a group of kids coming and we have a DJ for the kids and we had to close at 11. So everybody is like, we planning everybody coming like 9
Mhm.
and everybody had to leave like 10:30. So we try and be longer, not like we don't have to be open. This is stay longer in there for everybody. Even when doing like weekends, Saturday, Fridays, we want to like stay a little bit late. We don't have to rush people to leave
Mhm.
early because we have so many people coming like asking for stay a little bit late because they're driving to Layton, Las Margaritas, so like 20-30 minutes to have fun, and we don't have anything here, so we try and like be in that when the customers like have something different where we have.
So, Mr. Leon, one question. I have a few, but we'll just take them one at a time. You said kids, but what's the age group? That event you were talking about? What was the age
This
group?
we have a couple different, like we have one group, the kids that's coming like there's like 21 over, they come in the nice. This is what normal doing in the nice, but we have another team like 18 and older, they come in and like we play this is what we're doing over there in Syracuse. We're trying doing the same here. This we don't sell alcohol the night. It's like we play music, sell food, and the kids come and have fun. But we have like a lot of restrictions when we're doing those parties. We have like security people in the door and everything, like control house that work for everybody.
Is
So
there
it's
a
a
dance floor in the restaurant?
We take like couple tables. It's probably like 6 tables is a little space. So we're doing like, I don't know, you see the planet, give it to Laura.
Yeah, I got it.
We take like 5 tables and we like little space to whatever we want to dance, whatever we want to see on the table. It's nothing too loud.
You move these ones out, right? These ones just go to the side.
Yes. There's those 6 tables
Yeah.
right in front of the bar. We never doing that before.
And that's
here.
going to be a permanent change to the inside layout, or just on the nights when you'll stay when you want to stay open
Just in
until
the
2
nights.
a.m.
So what we're doing is like we close, like, for example, like 9:30, 10, we take those tables, put it outside in the back, and leave this spot open.
And so attendees can dance if they want to.
Yeah.
Is the patio going to be involved at all?
Maybe no. Now, but
Summertime?
maybe in summertime, yeah.
Although if you're worried about the outside noise, you could just say no to that.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, look, nominally having an event destination in Niskuna, I don't consider that a bad thing, especially for our younger people. I wouldn't necessarily call them kids, but, young folk. However, we do want to Mr. DiArpino's point, we want to make sure that we're not setting any precedents we don't want to be setting. And also, we want to make sure that the use stays within the use of a sit-down restaurant. So those are just a couple of the things that we just need to work through here. I think.
Yeah.
Have you ever in the past, I mean, forgive me, I don't know how long you've been there for. But have you ever had any complaints from any of the neighbors about any?
No, actually, no. Before we plan everything, we talked with everybody in the plaza. We got a permit for the plaza. We already talked with the police station and everything to get it controlled there. And no, everybody closed. The late one is a Volcano. They close 11. And after this, nobody else in the plaza. And it's like the music's obviously inside. And when we're doing outside, remember, in the filter, we try and do like early. For example, we have like connected with the Harley Davidson people. They want to come in there and like doing kind of like private parties, but it's gonna be early. The night is only like the weekends, but it's inside. We're not doing nothing like late outside.
Have you ever had any of the neighbors?
No, we have actually the lady for next door. She's a teacher for salsa. She's the one like proposed doing like one among like teacher, like the community from here and there.
And do you have an idea of how often you'll do it? Are you thinking every weekend?
No, definitely no. The
No.
what we're doing for every weekend is because we don't know when it's coming because we go when the special days, like for example Cinco de Mayo, we don't know what day is. So it's probably the first weekend in the month and maybe the last weekend. So it's probably 2 times a month.
Okay.
Do you think any of the neighbors, like across Balltown, would be able to hear activity past 11 p.m.?
I don't think so because everything is going to be closed and we are so we have everything inside. We don't have speakers outside or anything. And where we see like you see when you leave from the plaza and you take the road they leave you go only to the right. So the more everybody have to leave for where Starbucks is. So everybody's going to that side. Like, not everybody goes.
In the summer, you're gonna have that patio area opened up during the summer.
Yes, we do.
So we would probably want to have some concern about the noise level.
Yeah, bro, definitely. You don't want the patio open to 2 in the morning. Like the patio is open only for the restaurant time, and the late night is gonna be on the side, inside. No problem.
So LT's Grill used to have music in there, and you can't hear it from the outside.
Yeah, we haven't gotten complaints.
Yeah.
On that one.
Yeah, I mean, if there were any place, I'm just looking at the Google Maps here, right? If there's any place that's kind of shielded from residences, yeah, it's this locations. That's good. I think fundamentally the question I want to raise is I just want to ensure that we are still talking about a sit-down restaurant with this kind of usage versus something that's going to be, become some kind of a nightclub.
Yeah.
Right. And so as long as we thread that carefully and make sure whatever resolutions we issue, right, has that. And I'm not saying a pro or a con on either one. I'm just saying we need to have our eyes wide open as to which one we're actually.
Yeah, we did check that. I mean, restaurants have karaoke nights. They have dance floor things. So we didn't think this one was going far enough outside the boundary to not still be included as a restaurant.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion items? Thoughts?
No, just a little research. Schenectady County is 4 a.m. for for bars being open until,
Mhm.
which is, not the same request. And noise is still that 10, 11, which, the noise ordinance wouldn't change, right, for this request. This is
Correct.
all for internal use.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry,
So,
yeah,
go ahead.
Our next steps here would be,
So I think if we're getting a, pretty good feedback on this, our next step would be is that we could call for a resolution to basically extend the hours of operation, which is just an amendment to their current usage there,
Mhm.
and have that up for the next meeting.
And we could think about any conditional language that we wanted to
Yeah.
put in there.
I do wonder if Chief Cochin would want to
So
give an
actually,
opinion on any of this.
Oscar has been talking with the chief of police,
Yeah.
Jordan.
We-
He did have an event that was a one-time event that we approved as a fundraiser for a lady that had cancer, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he worked with the police on that, and he has worked with them on the extension of the hours as well.
Okay.
They keep us like when we're doing an event, only have to talk to him and car like driving around specific time.
Mhm.
And we have the liquor license too. It's all about like we have everybody doing the racing where we want to ask you because we want to go the same page with everybody to know. Like we have everything. It's only in you guys.
so Laura, the vehicle here is a site plan approval, right?
Yeah,
Or-
it's just the last site plan approval actually had his hours of operation. So
Mhm.
in order for him to modify them, he
Right.
needs to come back to you.
Okay.
Does it require a public hearing on our part?
It could if you wanted it to. For site plan approvals, public hearings are always discretionary.
My opinion on this is that if things get out of hand quickly,
Yeah.
you're not that far away from the police station, and it's in a pretty noticeable area. So if it's something that you can
Yeah.
work in and manage, it sounds like if it stays internal, all the better for your business. But if it starts to fluctuate, getting out in the parking lot, spilling out into the deck, people.
Actually, we find a company, the same company who work Syracuse. They get it like here is we never doing nothing after 12 with no security. So how the processes work is like they're making sure like when we close, they get everybody out and making sure everybody leave.
Mhm.
It's how they work for us in Syracuse because Syracuse is downtown. So they push us to everybody have to go for the restaurant in specific time. And like that's why we need sometimes like get a connection with the police to this guys coming and make sure like everybody leave and leave everything clean.
Okay.
And
Just out of curiosity, what's the name of the business in Syracuse?
Margaritas,
Okay. And it's located downtown?
yes.
Is it near the Armory?
It's in yeah.
Yeah, in that area? Okay. And how long has that establishment been working on that same premise?
Like probably like 4 years. we're
Okay.
doing that.
All right. So the model's been successful down there. It's a little bit different
Yeah, it's,
setting down there. That's,
It is
quite a lot of
more-
activity that's kind of penned up in that
Yeah.
one area.
the first is difficult when you start doing that because like you have to like be in this is what I'm saying, you have to be in the same place with everybody.
Mhm.
But now it's super easy over there because we be when the police and like everybody know where we're doing it. Like even customers, they already know like they close the restaurant, they have to leave because police is coming to still like take everybody out.
Okay.
It's now it's easy, everybody follow the laws.
Right.
Take time, but like that work good.
So question for Laura. So previously when he stayed open for an event, he just filed for like a permit
He
application?
did an event permit. But
Event permit. Okay.
yeah, when he wanted to stay later kind of regularly, we figured he needed to come back to see you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood. All right. That makes sense. All right.
So we're looking at saying yes, but keeping the deck out of it.
I think we'll put some conditions on the deck for the irregular hours, whatever you had before. We'll draft up some language on that
Okay.
to keep it so that it's encouraged to be internally. And if you're using the outside based on the approved hours that are already on your application, that's fine. Or if you decide that needs to migrate an hour or so, I think we should at least understand what Laura would need to put on that condition for the outdoor use.
Okay.
That's going to be the main concern.
Okay. So,
Okay.
so when is the next one?
January 12th.
22. Okay.
And
So
he doesn't need to submit anything else, right? We have everything we need.
Yeah, he basically submitted the paperwork that we used for the event permit, which it did work, and the police did review that. So
Okay.
We may want to add another condition just to state no exterior amplified speakers or anything. Yeah, something that just relates to like the deck and the outside front walk area, if you're open to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the location is really working in favor of something like this, right? Because it is,
Yeah, it is.
it is in the plaza. It is fairly, away from any close residences.
But it is highly visible.
Mm-hmm.
It is
So
highly visible.
Very
but-
important that
Right.
the outside piece. be
Yeah,
observed.
no, I think definitely the outside piece, I think, will be off the table for the late night
Okay.
piece. But it's also a good, it's a good event place in Niskayuna.
Mhm.
There are many times when, people are looking for stuff even to get something to eat.
and he said he's going to change the kind of music he has. So like sometimes it'll be country, sometimes it'll be like, so he can have different kind
Yeah.
of
So we have
to get people out and get
Yeah.
it moving. Yeah.
And I think some of the Rivers Ledge, not Rivers Ledge, the casino, sorry.
Oh.
That's a foreshadow. The casino event places stay open a little quite late, right?
The casino? I do not know. I think it's like open all the time.
Yeah, the casino is open.
isn't
I
it?
think the hotel is, but I mean some of the surrounding area. Anyway, it's
The
neither here nor
Starbucks
there.
at the casino is open till like 1 a.m. This I know.
Yeah, well, they operate under whatever
Under-
Schenectady County
Yeah.
allows,
Cut off
and then they cut off.
serving alcohol.
Okay.
Do they?
All right.
Yeah.
I think
All
so.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
So we'll have a resolution
Mhm.
with some conditions next meeting.
Yeah, I think we should put some conditions, just
Okay.
guardrails.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate that for me personally, if there is going to be a favorable decision here based on what that resolution looks like, it's actually the location of this place.
So I
makes it
think it's
conducive.
fair. We should, in the whereas clauses, maybe we
Mhm.
could talk about the things that, kind of mitigate the late hours.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Since this one is, I would say, relatively straightforward, I'd be happy to be the project lead on this,
Yep.
just to review those conditions and then
Mhm.
make sure that they're vetted out with the applicant
Yeah.
between now and then when you guys see that on the draft agendas, you can take a look at it then.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm an early riser, so I can get there when they close. Won't be able to check the festivities out.
Some of
but-
us have to stay awake for that day.
All right, next up is 2837 Aqueduct Road, Rivers Ledge. This is an applicant for monument signs at Rivers Ledge. The project lead is Miss Gold.
And we now have a portrayal of what it would look like with the lettering vertically stacked instead of at an angle. And frankly, I find it much easier to read. And we've had some discussion about the height. I'm actually okay with the height. I'm fine with the lighting. I know other people have some concerns on that. But this part of Aqueduct, it's very dark normally. It's not only very close to the river, but it's pretty much at the same height. There's not that much of a drop down to the river. So you get a lot of fog there. And for me, coming back at night, it has been more difficult to see because the old Rexford Bridge didn't have the lighting that the current one does. So you go from lighting on the bridge to this really dark space and sometimes very foggy. And I think the lighting actually is helpful. but I do want to hear what everybody else has to say, and if the applicant wants to add anything more. I did not see anything from experts about perception reading the angled lettering. I just know people I've talked with have problems with it. And what I did research online theorized that people with dyslexia would have a harder time adjusting. And since the goal is to help people find it, this seems counter.
So we had discussed that the applicant had mentioned that they had documentation from their traffic or sign designers that justified this layout for the sign. Has that not been provided to the planning office?
No, do you guys want to come up?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah. We haven't gotten that yet.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and the board. My name is Peter Luisi. I'm principal owner of the Rivers Ledge Apartment Community. First off, I'd like to apologize on behalf of my company for the incompetent sign erector that we hired that didn't apply for the permit in skirting the permit application and what needs to be done to get the sign approved. It didn't come to my attention till after the second meeting that my son had addressed the board with and has gone through. So there was no intention on my company to go about this approval process in a negative way by any means. We did have those signs built and erected. There are two of them. They were approximately $20,000 a piece. I know there is some talk about the signs being the direction of the wording on the signs. If my son, Christian, I'd like to give a few other examples of some very notable companies, very prominent companies throughout the country that use the same type of marketing, let's say, sign marketing example to market what they're selling in their product and their image. It's not uncommon for this to be done, as you can see through some of the photos from M&T Bank, Key Bank, Pioneer Bank, that it be done in a way that helps draw attention to the project and what you're doing. We would like to hopefully get the approval of the board to keep the signs there. And I think that's pretty much it. Have we missed anything?
Okay, just from a technical standpoint, we don't usually review information
I
that
got
is
you.
brought to the meeting. However, a couple meetings ago, we did talk about like downtown State Street in Schenectady, that there's a lot of marquee signs that are the same orientation. It is a common practice to do that. So
Okay,
the board
I
is-
was
yeah,
unaware.
the board is aware of that. We
Miss-
talked about some other businesses that were around town and other areas. So it's definitely a technique that's been applied
Okay.
in common practice.
I wasn't aware. I'm a little bit behind the eight ball on this, and
That's okay.
I'm here tonight looking for support on the approval for the signage as it is.
Okay. I have one technical question about the signs of the construction. So I know that you have the plinth at the bottom, the lighting that's all been brought into it, and there's a framework that goes around that. Are those panels the types of panels that can be swapped out as like a skin panel, or are they integral to the network trim that goes around the tops and sides and cap? And if you don't know that answer, that's fine.
I know there's an aluminum framework to the
Mhm.
interior of the sign.
Right.
And the panels, I believe, are screwed to the framework.
Okay. All
So
right.
they can at some point be switched out if we want to. Doesn't affect the structure of the sign.
Okay. Okay. So I think that the way that I've seen these before is that there's a structure and armature that's there. All the housing that has the electrical and all that stuff, none of that would change. but what I call the skins or the panels that are backlit are sometimes interchangeable. They fade over time. So the signs are serviceable. You don't have to scrap the entire sign if need be.
That is correct.
Okay.
They are plastic panels.
Mhm.
That is how you're getting the reflection of the light through the panels.
So obviously we've heard from Ms. Gold, but we'll open it up to other members of what they think.
I would echo a lot of the things that Ms. Gold had said. A lot of it is environmental. You know, the road is dark. It does get foggy. It can be hard to see. I think even with the incompetence, let's say, of the planning on behalf of the sign company you hired, the sign size, how it's well lit, but not direct lit, you know, inside lit, it has a lot of complementary attributes to what Ms. Gold had pointed out the challenges of this road are. So to me, I was surprised to see him go up. I was one of the first to see him go up. And being on the board, not having seen a review of that, was a little surprised. I personally have been an advocate for recognizing the orientation of the letters, even though points are well made, that it may be hard for some to capture the wording or the two words, you know, at higher speeds or just in general. I find it to be an appealing trend, and there seems to be an increase, you know, of signs in our area that have that orientation. I'm glad that they are prominent. They're easy to see. They make those markers, those wayfinding attempts on that road a bit easier for everyone, even if the destination isn't Rivers Ledge. So just those are my comments. You know, I do travel that road quite a bit, and all the things that Ms. Gold said would be very important attributes to consider if we had gotten a chance to do that.
I understand.
First of all, I drove through your conference. Amazing. It's really beautiful in there.
Thank you.
But I don't, excuse me, I don't like the height, and I'm not crazy about the light and how it's lit. I respect what my colleagues are saying, but those are just my feelings. And I don't have a problem with the lettering, but it's just the height and the light that I take issue with. We appreciate you coming.
Sure.
I think this would be very different if we were on Upper Union Street and this was one of 6 signs that we were hitting, and you know the driver was hitting in a row and it stuck out in this way. I do think the stack signage is, you know, from a marketing perspective, being used increasingly. And I don't think it's a problem because this is kind of standalone. There is a lot of room around it. It's large, but it is, you know, it has a function in terms of alerting a driver that's going at a higher mileage that that's where the turn is. The problem I have is that there's a precedent in asking for forgiveness rather than permission.
We understand, and unfortunately, I'm here because of a contractor that didn't apply the rules as we know them to what was done. And I can't correct that now. The only thing I can do is ask for forgiveness. And I respect whatever the board decides. If we have to come take it down and come back and do it the right way, so be it. From my standpoint, I would hope that the board would consider what I'm asking. As you mentioned, we put our heart and soul into this project. We delivered on everything we said, Ms. Robertson, as you can attest to. We delivered on everything that we said. Mr. Khan, you were here from the very beginning. This has been a very lengthy project. It could be 8 years now. We delivered on everything we said we were going to do. And I think we've given more to this project than any developer has ever done in the town of Niskayuna, or at least 99% of them. And if this is the one flaw that we've failed to deliver on, we would ask that you don't hold that against us.
Mr. Luigi, I appreciate both as an individual member of the board and on behalf of the board that you've come out tonight, taken accountability for, what has happened here and explained it, right? The history that you mentioned, this action by you tonight is actually most consistent with that history of working together, right? With this PUD and the town and the planning board and getting there. So look, one thing I'd propose to the board is I think there were a few, maybe 3 is what I'm tracking, items that were raised that we may have some point of debate and perspective or opinion on. Maybe the right thing to do is to look at each one of them individually. I would expect that from the cost to the applicant, the size of the sign is probably the most significant cost incurring item, right? We don't need the applicant to answer. I think we can logically reach there. Ms. DiArpino ascertained that lettering changes. It's on a plastic sheeting, right? I think that would be something that's, minimal. So I know Ms. Trang and myself in the last meeting had raised this issue about the height of the sign, right? I guess if we were to look at height as one of the factors, where does the board fall on this as us as individuals?
Well, I guess I would want to recount the fact that there is no height restriction for this use, having it been a PUD. So I would stand on, it's in scale with the area that it sits in the development that we approved.
I agree. I don't mind the height of it. I think the way it's positioned on the road at the entrances, reads pretty clearly. I definitely feel that a vertical sign looks better than the horizontal one that was part of the application previously that we looked at as an option. And then, so we just wanted to go on height here.
Yeah. So let's
stick with
so height is
Okay.
one. So height is one of them. The vertical lettering.
Mhm.
I think the angled, right? The three face angle was another factor. Leslie, did we miss another factor? Let's at least put all the
There were
factors down.
concerns about the lighting. I don't happen to share that, but
Okay, then the lighting as a
The backlit.
fourth one.
Okay.
So we could take them in whatever order. I mean, we're working together here, Mr.
Well-
DiArpino, Leslie. Maybe we could consider the ones that we can come to a general consensus on quicker. But why I focused in on the height is I think the height changes the most. And so if we want the height change from what it is, I think all the other changes are just marginal compared to that.
I'm okay with the height because of where it is, it's not competing with anything. That it's a little larger makes it easier to read. I've driven that road enough to know how bad it can be to see and to gauge where you are on the road because there's several curves and that development is on one of them. And it can be very tough driving.
Have we all on the board in the recent, since the last meeting at least, or, I had missed 2 before, have we taken a look at the signs with that light? I mean, I don't mean the light inside. I mean, in light of this application or this event. Yes.
Mhm.
So this is a fresh response from board members.
Yeah. I've come home from SPAC and been diverted onto Aqueduct either by choice in one occasion, and I think on one occasion the police diverted me. It's a nasty piece of road to drive. And I think
It is.
the larger lettering and the lighting both help negotiate that road.
They act as a waypoint and a finding of the curve and where you are at the road. If there's a plus to the signs being installed incorrectly.
I mean, and recognize also that we have another PUD next door. And I have a hunch that whatever we're going to do here becomes the precedence for there.
Well,
It may or may not. That depends on, they've got one entry point that's a little bit different from this one. This one has, I think, more of a prominent entry point than the adjacent one to the west.
And this isn't standard development in town either.
Mhm.
It's a special kind of development.
Right. I mean, to the point that Mr. Laflamme made, the fact that this is a PUD gives us some leeway, right? That's why
It
I just
does.
made a PUD to PUD comparison. That's all, right? And I agree, it doesn't have to be the same.
Mhm.
It's just what the reasoning and argument is.
All right. So as far as the height, does anyone feel that the total of 16'4" is too high?
I do.
Okay, so Ms. Strang does. Okay, so that's item one. So next up, we'll touch on lighting. So it's backlit. There's no specific ground lighting that shines up at it or anything. There are a couple roadway lights that are down lights that are behind it in the medians that are there that do give you a little bit of lay light there, also helping demarcate the entrance. But that's basically what the lighting is right there. Does anyone have concerns with the backlighting
That's the reason because of the height. is
because of
why
the height?
yeah.
Okay.
The internal lighting, right? It's internal lighting, or back
Right.
behind the letters, but
Correct.
internal lighting.
Mhm.
I definitely think it's a great fit, for that use. And the fact that, we'll pile up and get pushed. There's no lights below that will be blocked.
I might add, it is a grand project, so it
Yeah.
deserves a grand entrance.
Well, aside from that, over the years, I have come to not have as high regard for the ground-mounted light going up because in bad weather, they're not real helpful, especially when they get buried under snow.
Also, sometimes, like, we have never gotten a complaint on an internally lit sign. I actually want to change our code about this. The externally lit signs, like if a lawnmower hits them or something, they can then shine directly into traffic. And we do get complaints about the
Yeah.
external lights being like off and causing problems for the cars driving. So, like, we had this conversation with GE on their internally lit
Right.
sign on Balltown Road. I want our code to start encouraging this kind of.
Yeah, and on
Yeah, I
Heritage
agree.
Group also. I think we
Yeah.
definitely need to look at that. So I actually don't have an issue with the lighting. And I'm trying to separate size from lighting. We'll come back to the size one.
Okay. We're just going to go back one step and just touch back on height again. Just question on this picture here. Any future plans to do landscaping in those medians, or
Yes, like-
There is actually a landscaping detail for those islands.
okay?
It hasn't been done as of yet. But I think it calls for daylilies or different plantings in that island, which we will complete in the spring.
Okay.
I
One
don't
of-
think we can leave the entrance
One of
way.
them has landscaping.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, one of them does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Not-
the
not
second
other
one didn't
yeah.
get finished, but it is our intent to fully
Okay.
landscape the islands.
And you don't want vegetation that's too high anyway.
No.
Because some people just drive small vehicles still.
Well, we don't want the landscaping to disrupt the view from the driver, whether it be left or right, coming in or out.
The argument I would make is that if there's some tiered landscaping there, that'll at least be layer one. Then you get to the sign. It's not just as stark as the monument coming up.
Yes.
So the
That's a good
16
point.
feet does get broken up a little bit height wise, maybe 3 feet. You have a 3-foot plinth. So someone in that neighborhood. Okay, great. Okay. So the third item is letter orientation. So we've got the 90-degree turned letters that are stacked with is that a loon on the bottom?
It's a concrete base that it sits on.
Okay. I
You're
meant
talking about the very bottom. Oh, on the very bottom?
Element.
It's supposed to be representation of the river,
the river. Okay.
the winding river.
Gotcha.
If you look at the logo that we have,
Oh,
it's supposed to
okay.
be a river.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I guess you really got to get in on it. And then
And actually, that's based on a traditional
16 feet. They were
sign
supposed
for
to tell
that.
us,
So it makes sense.
I thought it was more of like an
Yeah,
abstract
it looked
loon.
like a bird.
Yeah.
No, if
Doesn't
you go
matter.
back to
That's
Native
that's what I'm
American
going with. So
symbolism, it's
Okay.
consistent. It's
Okay.
not identical, but it's consistent with it.
So the two sides that have the River's Ledge logo on it is has the 90-degree orientation. The back side of the sign facing the exit has regular orientation, also backlit too. So I guess,
I strongly prefer the stacked vertical.
Okay.
It's
Let's be
just so much
specific, where
easier
it
to
says
read.
River's Ledge to be stacked vertical.
Yeah. We're used to reading things that way. Not quite as much as we're used to reading things left to right, or in some cases right to left. But at that angle, it's just very odd, and it takes a while to assimilate it. And gee, if people are going by on the quick side, you don't want them not being able to read the sign.
So, and I think the only counterpoint that we've heard is if you're keeping the sign the exact same size and you change the orientation, you're probably going to have to shrink the letters down significantly, which then might make them hard to read. Because you're not just going to be able to turn them 90 degrees. They're the shorter way. They're rectangles, not squares.
Mhm.
And it's the shorter way that they're stacked on. So if you turn those rectangles out, you're probably going to have to shrink them down and maybe have a lot of space on either side, or you're going to have like River's Ledge. In any way, those letters are going to get significantly smaller if you rotate them.
Well said.
I have to
how
say, Leslie,
significantly.
yeah, I disagree. I disagree. I do a lot of signage and a lot of logo and branding design, and I do think this is where things are moving, and I think it is a much cleaner way to read vertically. And I think I know you're concerned about readability, but as from an aesthetic standpoint, I don't think we're losing a ton of readability, and I actually think this is a
I'm less concerned with
Cleaner.
aesthetics than
I know.
safety.
I know you are. I just don't think we're giving up a ton of readability. And I actually think this is a much more attractive because they're stacked. When you start to shift them, the different configuration and shape of the letter it's just not going to look as universal and clean. And I think there's ample example out there that this is, an acceptable way to create wayfinding.
It's trendy, I know. That doesn't make it the best design.
okay. Is anyone else
I don't think anyone else.
dissatisfied with the orientation at 90 degrees?
No.
Okay. And then the fourth item is the configuration, which is three-sided, correct?
Three-sided.
Okay. So does anybody have any concerns with it being three-sided?
Makes sense. East, west, and out.
So at this point, what I'd like to do is, I think we have some concerns, but not any overwhelming opposition to the signs. I'd like to touch briefly on the other sign, the Realizari sign that's also part of the package too. I know we've looked at
Yes.
that a number of times. Leslie, could we just talk about that briefly? Are you good with that sign?
I actually am. I
Okay.
think it's attractive.
Mhm.
It's distance enough away from the road that it's not going to be a distraction. And it's got a little different attitude towards it. Kind of traditional and yet a little different.
So I'm not sure if the board knows what Realizari means, but it's relax in Italian.
Yeah, I do.
Google Translate.
Okay.
So I think the general consensus is that everyone's in favor of this sign. So there was really not much discussion after the first couple times.
And we're doing it the right way.
So going back to go ahead.
It's more like traditional writing rather than being trendy.
Okay, so going back to the pylon signs, I think that overall we've got some general concerns, but not an overall consensus that this is not acceptable. I think at this point we've seen some iterations of this. We've asked for some information. They've shown a couple different configurations. I believe that the applicant would like to move forward with us bringing this one to resolution as this orientation at the 16'4" height with the current configuration of the lettering that's been rotated, backlit, and the number is 2. Everyone be in agreement with that?
Sure.
Okay.
One procedural thing, Laura, was there some kind of penalty the applicant faced because these signs were built before?
If
Review?
we don't, if the applicant is not compliant, like if we give a notice and order and it says you got to come in and file a building permit for this sign within a certain amount of days, or you will be fined. That if you don't follow the notice and order, you get a penalty. But they followed the notice and order, so
Okay.
there isn't like a direct
Okay,
violation
so
unless
once
they
it
weren't
became
listening to us.
known, the procedure was followed correctly
Correct.
after that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And just to close the loop on the prior discussions, is there any other supporting information for the sign package, or is this it?
This is all we have at this time.
So there is nothing to say that putting it at that angle is not a distraction rather than helpful.
There's no research to that.
I mean, there's general design standards for signs along roadways, faster speed roadways, you have bigger lettering. Just wanted to see if that was part of your sign, vendor's recommendations for the, the size, because I think it is a valid point that if you rotate the letters, they are going to shrink in size.
Not
to fit
that
on,
much.
To fit on the, I mean, we could ask them to see what it is, but they will likely shrink, which will change the aesthetics of the sign with more open space on the sides of it, and smaller letters will be less readable. So I think the sign as it is appropriate for the use in the roadway. Just wanted to close the loop on the discussion about the additional data, whether or not it's there or not, and if it's not, then we know this is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know if DOT would weigh in on something like that. Maybe like size but not orientation. You just don't see road signs by DOT.
I tried looking up their code and could not pull it up.
Okay. All right. So I
They
think
do have a code.
okay. All right. So Ms. Gold, I think we're at the point where I think we can call for a resolution with this package.
Yeah. I will probably move it and not vote for it because it looks like it's going to be for the letter orientation as is, and I will not support that.
Okay, that's fine. We understand that position. But we've had the applicant here, I believe it's been 4 meetings. So we understand what your position is. This is what they want to move forward with. And
In light of Ms. Gold's comment and the discussion we've had, do we want to actually do this on the 4 separate characteristics for these pylon signs? And my main reason for suggesting it has to do with the next PUD. That's all.
I could state my concern when I vote no.
Whichever, okay. As long as something's recorded, right? We want to be able to look back at this when we're making a decision down the road.
I don't think we need to draw this out
Okay,
unnecessarily.
that's fine. I stated what my motivation was for asking for that, right?
Yeah, I learned long ago, we go by consensus. It does not have to be unanimous.
Okay.
And,
Thank
Ms. Strang has equal, right, and equal comment on that too, right?
Okay. All right. Thank you. So
All right.
resolution will be on
Ms.
for
Louise,
the,
I do want to say your being here tonight, I'm reiterating something I said earlier. You've been a strong partner here. We've had this mishap.
Well, doing things the right way is our way of doing business at Louisi Companies. And again, this got away from us. There's nothing I can do now except to stand here and explain to you why. And I thank you for the consideration.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Just for the boards, I have met 2 families, older couples that live in Niskuna in the last 2 weeks that are putting their house up in the market and moving to Vilasari so that they can stay near their families, but their houses are getting too big. So it is working exactly the way we wanted it.
Yeah, and look,
There's a lot of examples of that.
I guess all I could say, it'll be easy to find now.
I was just going to say that was one of their main reasons for moving the lighting of the sign.
Find their way home.
All right. It's,
Okay.
all right. We're
All
still,
right.
we're still thinking about those outdoor garages, Mr. Luisi.
All right, perfect. So for next meeting, we'll have a resolution drafted up with the 4 talking points and the package here that the applicant wants to move forward with for both signs. This is good. Okay, thank you. Okay, next up on discussion items, 3515 Rosendale Road. This is an application for a 2-lot subdivision. I believe we have the applicant online.
Yep, he's here.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm here. Assad Mufti.
Okay, welcome. All right,
Thank you.
so basically this is a application to combine 2 lots, and there's another section of a lot that is landlocked, correct?
Actually, I'm not combining, I'm separating one lot into 2 lots.
Oh, that's right, to get the frontage that is on the private road that runs off of, I guess it's the Vly Extension, where Rosendale is, on the backside of the Dollar Tree.
Correct.
That is correct, yes.
All right, so 2 parcels, and
But your memory isn't wrong. The idea is, so like right now the parcel's L-shaped.
Yeah,
Here,
Correct.
it's the L. Well, it's
Mhm.
backwards L. But
Yeah.
this landlocked parcel, if this landlocked parcel is able to combine with proposed lot 1,
mhm,
then they would be able to have frontage on this easement. And right now they use a shared driveway with the existing lot to Rosendale Road, but it's landlocked. So if they were able to get to combine it with the proposed lot 1, then they would actually have a house and with frontage on an improved street.
okay.
that's correct.
That private road, who services that road? Does the town have any jurisdiction on that?
No, it
No.
is
Mhm.
privately maintained, I believe. Aside, you can jump in here. I think the old CDHP company would maintain it, right?
That is correct, yes.
So when the commercial buildings went in Colony,
Mm-hmm.
they gave an easement to the Browns, I think, and they went because they needed to have emergency exit onto Rosendale Road.
Okay.
Bulk zoning requirements are okay.
Mhm.
He put the contours on. It's on the side of a hill, so it's very, very steep on that one lot. But
Mhm.
the proposed lot 1 is pretty flat.
Yes,
This would be a more compliant
Yeah.
map as a result.
Yeah, the
Right.
L-
So, I mean, proposed lot 1 can stand on its own, but if it is eventually combined with the lands of Lee Charles, it is better that way for
Mhm.
sure.
that is correct, yes.
Okay.
Lee Charles land does front onto Rosendale, right?
No,
a
it's
long
completely
driveway.
landlocked.
Is it
So,
completely landlocked?
yeah, so there's
Yes,
like 2 houses. It's really hard to see if you're driving on Rosendale Road
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
both of the houses are set way far back from the road.
Yeah, right.
But they share that long driveway.
You're right. So it's you're right. The long driveway that's asphalt surface labeled,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's, yeah. I mean, Lee's Unilever.
Oh no, it's not. No, you can't.
No?
No.
Isn't it asphalt surface?
No, they actually the shared driveway isn't shown on here. It's over here. I could pull it up in aerial, but they actually access way over here, across this whole lot, with Barbara and Nazarko.
We're not seeing that.
Yeah. Oh, whoops! You're not seeing it. Sorry, my bad. Carry on.
This is a shared driveway, right? It goes
Mhm.
to 3501 in the back, and we're looking at it on Google Maps. Or
I'm bringing it up here. I'll show you guys. I'm sorry. I like crashed my computer.
Oh, okay. All right.
okay,
Aside, well, that's all right.
Yeah.
I'll try it again.
Yeah.
So proposed lot 1 is being broken off of,
Lot 2. So lot,
part of lot
Yeah.
2, correct?
yeah, so lot 2 was like Laura said, was L shape.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so 1 and 2 combined is going to be what my current lot is.
Yeah, so 1 and 2 represents, proposed 1 and proposed 2 represents what the original,
What the original is.
right?
That is correct.
It would have been good to
Yes.
see that. but-
Who inherits the small square section that's landlocked? That goes with lot 1, correct?
Right now, it's not going with anybody. I mean,
It's just-
who inherits me? I mean, the neighbor's plan is to buy this piece of land from me so he can have an access to the road, to the Rosendale Road. Yeah, Lee wants to buy a piece of land from me
Mm-hmm.
so he can have access to Rosendale Road, right? Because right now, his house is landlocked.
Right. So I
Like-
was going to zoom in on this.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
let me
so
see
Lee Cairo is that house that's, I
This
think
one.
Google Maps will call it
That-
3501, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that
but-
is correct. Yes.
They access, I think, with this driveway off of Rosendale. This is the Barbara house. This is the Lee
Right.
Charo house.
Yeah.
And this is Assad's property down here.
Yeah.
And so like this big treed square is what he's talking about subdividing from this house.
Right.
Okay, so nothing to do with the landlocked parcel.
Well, the only
Not,
advantage
yeah, no, no.
the landlocked
yeah.
parcel could buy it and become unlandlocked.
Unlandlocked,
But
yeah.
lot
That
1
is
can
correct.
actually stand by
Yeah.
itself even without that.
Yeah.
Right, but for this application that we're looking at,
Mhm.
the landlocked lot has nothing to do with it.
Correct.
Right.
That is
okay.
correct.
He
Yes.
can combine that parcel administratively if he chooses to purchase it. It wouldn't come before the planning board.
Mhm.
But if he doesn't purchase it, it doesn't matter. It really is not, like you said,
Right.
part of the application.
Right, because normally if we come
Correct.
across a landlocked parcel, we want to at least have an understanding of, is it going to remain a landlocked
Mhm.
parcel, or if there's a potential for future sale, can it
Or-
connect to
Right,
something?
right. And the applicant's communicating, at
Mhm.
least telegraphing that there may be some future purchase of what the proposed lot 1 is.
Which
But
That is
which-
correct.
Which is all moving in a better direction, right?
yes.
Right.
Because that was
Yes,
that
yeah.
asphalt driveway that goes to, so that Lee Cairo's property is 3501, right? And so right now it's only that driveway access onto Rosendale Road that,
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know what this is, but I don't think that necessarily connects. I think they use this driveway here.
yeah, no, I
Mhm.
think that is the one they
Yeah.
use. So actually, that adjacent, well, no, I guess that's fine.
But
So-
yeah, we're looking at that L that kind of falls
Mhm.
here. And this is the big complex that plows that
Mhm.
road.
Correct. Yes.
And both proposed lot 1 and proposed lot 2, they don't need any variances, correct?
Yep.
Right? Yeah, so,
So we're the lead agency on this. Town of Colony
Mhm.
has a little bit of the lot 1 on in their township.
Mhm.
So we'll have to make I guess it's not a referral, it's a letter informing them.
So we'll inform them. My recommendation to the applicant is to actually also fill out a subdivision application for the town of Colony. Then if they want to defer to the town of Niskuna, they can.
Right.
But
Subdivision.
technically the land is in the town of Colony. So like if it was reversed, I would make them fill out an application for us.
mhm.
So
Mhm.
even though the land is largely in the town of Niskuna,
Mhm. Okay.
they don't have to defer to us. That's their choice. They could also require the full application.
Okay.
So are we looking to coordinate for seeker then? Coordinated review?
Yeah, we'll see. If they want to do their own, they can. If they defer to us, then we would coordinate.
Well, I mean, if we want to be lead agency for seeker, we would notify them, and then if they either dispute it or they concede to us.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, we'll send the coordinated letters out.
But it requires an application in Colony too?
I just always recommend that.
Mhm.
Colony can decide, but I feel like it's sort of like a nice opener to send them the application with all of the data, and then they can decide whether or not to defer it.
And we would hope they do the same for us.
There's a
Which-
fee with that
And
application,
they
though,
have
right?
Which they have.
There's
Yeah,
a fee for that colony application also, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Probably.
So one thing I want to say is that for Colony, I never like paid any taxes, or Colony never sent me any like property taxes or anything. And so all I pay is the property taxes to town of Niskuna. So I don't know whether town of Colony has anything to do with this.
I don't want to open up a can of worms for you, but there's definitely part of your property in the town of
Yeah.
Colony.
Do we pay them out of his taxes? Is that
No, we
possible?
don't. On divided lots,
Hmm.
there's usually separated tax bills.
Okay, okay.
And sometimes
So,
municipalities just look at how much land is involved and decide if it's even worth billing.
I mean, to Andrew's point,
Right.
they may just like we'll send out the coordinated letters. They may just defer because
Okay,
the part that's being subdivided isn't in the town of Colony. But
that is correct.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
we'll reach out to them.
Okay,
The next step on this is just a sketch plan approval. So we still have time. We still have to send out those letters and call for a public hearing and do all the minor subdivision things. We're just at sketch plan, so.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So since this is a multi-step project for the board here, it'd be good to have a project lead on that. So if this is something you might be interested in, let myself and Laura know. Any other questions? Okay, so I think you got a good summary of what the next steps are. And
so for me, what's the action plan? Do I still need to submit the subdivision application to town of Colony, or are you guys gonna send them a letter?
We'll send them a letter regardless.
Okay.
If I were you, though, I would reach out to them and tell them what you're doing and see if they want an application.
Okay, we can do that. Okay. And for the sketch of the plans, I mean, I believe Kevin, who's my surveyor, he submitted the sketch. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It's in our
Okay.
packet. Mhm.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions for Kevin because he's here?
Is there any information on the easement for adding another driveway to the private road?
There's no restrictions.
Okay.
I didn't see any in any of the deeds. There were no restrictions on limiting the number of people that can cross that section of road.
Okay.
It is unusual that it's not a dedicated public right-of-way. Because I'm always bound by that New York State law that says that, you can't issue building permits without improved frontage. I do think that the easement plus the way that the road is built probably does count as improved frontage. It is an odd one.
Right.
But I haven't, to Kevin's point, I haven't found anything that would preclude it from being allowed to be a subdivision.
all right, thank you. All right, thank you for your time.
So do we want to call for a sketch plan approval, Rezo?
I thought we wanted to have check with Colony first.
Do you want to do that before?
I think it would be prudent only because we've had a couple projects in the last couple of years where either that with the city of Schenectady where there's been a stumbling block where one agency wasn't informed of the other.
Okay,
So I
we'll
think
check
just
with
in
Colony.
the interim between the meetings, since it's a multi-step process anyways for this, that we should do that. And then at least if we know it's going to get deferred, then we can control it from there.
Mhm.
That's how I feel about it. I don't know.
No, I
I'll
agree
open
with
it
that.
back up to the board.
I agree with that.
Because you could actually, if we got that information, you're getting more comfortable with it,
Mhm.
you can do a sketch plan approval and call for a public hearing in a single resolution too. if
That's
you
true.
want to. Yeah.
Okay.
We've done that before, quite a lot actually.
Okay. All right. All right, good.
Okay. So just to confirm for me is to contact the town of Colony and let them know that we are doing this. And for town of Niskuna, you guys gonna send them a letter.
Yeah. Yep. We'll reach out together.
Okay, very good.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, and next up on discussion items, 1475 Balltown Road. This is a tenant change to Rooted Beauty Hair Society, a hair salon and esthetician services. There we go. Representative from the applicant here.
Hi, good evening. My name's Erin Conlon.
Okay,
So we signed a lease a couple weeks ago, and I'm looking to open up a hair salon.
all right. This is the former Studio Orlo.
Yeah.
All right. The inside is a just simple renovation, not a big retrofit.
No, we're taking down like 2 walls, doing new plumbing for sinks, putting in a sink in the esthetician's room.
Can you come up to the, just up to the,
Kyle,
microphone?
I'm her husband. I'll be the guy doing the work inside. So
Okay.
appreciate your time. I know it's late, so for starters, thank you for your time.
You're doing all the
Um,
beautician work?
Yeah, I'm not, it's opposite roles. Yeah, she'll swing the hammer. Appreciate your time. So basically just basic upfit.
Mhm.
And then, as prescribed in the plans, just a couple walls, updating, just gathering some space inside, modernizing the layout, but no structural changes, updating lighting, no, unless we run into any issues, no electrical changes.
Okay.
Have to talk to my electrical contractor about the box in the back. It looks a little dated, but basically retrofit, update, put a little lipstick on it, no pun intended, but no structural changes.
Okay. How about exterior improvements, lighting, adding any exterior lighting possibly?
Based on talking with Alan Smith over at Skylar Companies, that's kind of their property. So signage would be that in accordance with the town, and that's it.
Okay. All right. With the signage package, there's some parameters on the width of the storefront, what you're allowed. It's a single facing building, so it would be one front sign. You can do signage separately as a separate application, or if it comes in compliant, then it would just go through the planning board. I'm sorry, the planning department. We wouldn't see it. But if you had any signage or anything that you wanted to include on that, you're welcome to do it at this time.
Okay.
All right. So as far as the rest of this, we don't really have to talk about parking. I know it is a shared parking lot. It is a little tight in there.
Yeah, we just looked at this one with Tresco.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trusco just
Did they install something?
they did. They
Yeah.
did the ATM. They did pave. They did everything.
Yeah, it looked
They
different
expanded,
when I was driving by.
right?
They worked on it about 5 minutes after their resolution was approved. So they were
That
right on
weekend.
top of it. Yeah. But actually, they did improve that entrance off of Knott Street West, coming in there, so it is a little bit wider. They did sacrifice one space over on that end, but there are the bank parking that you have in front along Balltown Road, and then just those few ancillary ones that are off down to the side.
Because it looks like it's been a while since been inside Orlo, but it looks like about the same number of stylists.
I'm not. Yeah, she had.
Depending on how they had it
She
set
had
up,
10 stylists there. I'm
Mhm.
looking to have 8
Mhm.
plus the esthetician.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
pretty similar.
Yeah, so similar volume.
Also, like, it's an open floor plan, which is what we're looking for in these places generally. And she did send me her licenses, so I
Mhm.
have checked those.
Mhm.
And the plan is to be open
So, yeah,
6 or
hours.
7 days a week.
The plan right now is to be open 6 days a week. It looks like Saturday might be our day that we're closed and operate Sunday through Friday right now, depending on staffing. If I have staff that want to work Saturday, I'll be open 7 days. But as of right now, the staff I have would prefer to work Sundays instead of Saturdays. So
When the tree council, and I actually just checked this recently for the tree council, but for Tresco Bank, the tree council had identified one spot where it looked like a tree had come down. So they did want to plant one tree in that area. I know that Tresco Bank's approval, I think, says subject to the tree council. So it's likely that we'll make Tresco or the landlord plant that tree. But I would probably still put the standard landscaping condition in there just to double check it.
And just to clarify that would fall under Skylar Companies or
We actually don't care. It falls between the two of you guys, but eventually a tree has to get planted.
according to the lease, okay, then it'd be on Skylar.
Yeah.
Yes, no.
Okay.
And just a quick question, I believe it's for you, Laura. We've been going back and forth. Did you get my email earlier? All the insurances, I believe it was sent to you.
I did not, but I'll have to check.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have gone to Linda because people get Laura and
Okay.
Linda mixed up a lot.
Apologies as well.
Both start with an L. Yes.
I mean, looks relatively straightforward. We
resolution
review a lot of
is
tenant
fine.
changes, and it's been vacant for a while, so it'll be nice to have that
Mhm.
storefront filled up.
Yep.
It's definitely been vacant for a little while.
Okay.
It's some equivalent use effectively.
Correct.
Okay.
So we would do also a condition that code compliant signage could be approved by
Mhm.
us. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we could have a resolution for the next meeting, and then you can make the decision on what you want to do with the signage. Probably be contingent on a separate application to come in at a later date.
Yeah.
About how long does that approval take for that?
For what? The signage?
Yeah.
It depends. If you have a sign that's not compliant,
Oh,
as you've seen tonight,
so as long as we're
a little bit, it could be,
Yeah,
it could be a few meetings. If you have something that is compliant, then actually it goes right through that.
okay.
Right to building permit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
So you just want to do a compliant sign.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Got it.
Gather that.
Sledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't put it up first.
Yeah, like
Don't put
the-
it first.
We used to live in Niskuna.
Mhm.
We're new to the town, obviously, with your association, so we're not looking to beg for forgiveness and start.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We're
Don't
we're
recommend
tracking.
it.
We're with you.
Yeah, this would be like if you tried to stretch a sign from, edge of building to edge of building or something like that, or,
The landlord already sent me what the
Good.
parameters are. So
yeah, the town overlay district has a little bit of different parameters for what they have for the signage in the center of town, but it's all pretty straightforward with, I think, what your mission is and what you're looking to do.
Studio Orlo is well known.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't think the sign was necessary for them. We wish the same for you.
thank you.
And so
Mhm.
Appreciate that.
you'll have a, you'll have a compliant sign.
All right, great. All right, so we'll call for resolution at the next meeting.
Okay.
And
All right.
that was January.
12.
Well,
Thank you.
all right.
Thank you.
Welcome to
Okay.
it.
Thank you for your
Thanks
time.
for waiting.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Good Christmas.
You too.
All right, so that finishes up discussion items. We'll move on to reports.
So I added the calendar into the end of the packet. I was able to squeeze one more meeting in June because early voting actually ends on the 23rd. So it doesn't interfere. We can still have the rotation of the meetings to have a meeting on June 29th. So that brings us back to 3 meetings with only one, which is what we typically have every year. So that's
Mhm.
better. So as long as that's okay with everyone, we're mostly second and fourth. June is kind of funky. And then we have only one meeting in May, October, and December. And it also spaces out the months that we have only one meeting, which is better too.
Mhm.
All right.
That was a concern I think that I had with Laura when we were looking at that. Sometimes when we get 2 months back to back, not only do we get stacked up with very lengthy agendas and
Mhm.
applications, anytime we can try to get at least those spaced out, that's always helpful.
Mhm.
All right, great. So take another last look at it, make sure everything looks good. So that's the one that'll be adopted for next year.
And I sent you guys your training. Thank you, Nancy. She did all her training. She's amazing. I think Leslie's all caught up. Chris went to some online in-person ones. So if you're missing training, just take a look. I know I didn't remind you until very late, but do the best you can. 1 hour is better than 0 hours. So whatever you can squeeze in.
Speaking of training, I think the Saratoga
I saw
planning
that.
just
So
came
the
out.
Saratoga one just opened. I figured I would give you guys a second and then
Mhm.
send it to you like maybe January 1st.
Okay.
But the Saratoga one is open now. And I'll register you if you
And
want to go to that.
That how many hours does that course get?
When you go to that, it's typically like 4.5 to 5,
And are-
sometimes even more, and it'll carry forward. So if you do an in-person day, you're normally covered for the rest of the year.
What's our requirement for?
4.
4 hours. So thanks for sending the links out. The Capital District Regional Planning webinars they've only got 3 from last year. So if you've watched those, which I've watched all of them, they didn't have as many as they had last year.
The Ohio ones have a ton.
Yeah, the Ohio ones
Yeah.
are fun. I think that's because they did the webinars more as a COVID related thing.
Okay.
So they didn't even do webinars this year because they went back to their in person. But those webinars, the Capital District Planning, they're still good. Like they're still interesting.
Mhm.
They still cover a lot of ground. And obviously, I mean, the Department of State ones are really dry, but very technically accurate. So never a bad thing to remind yourself of those.
And there's some good ones on the Planning Federation.
Yeah, so
site.
Leslie went through the work of getting herself registered and then asking for the courses with the New York State Planning Federation, the NYEF one. So those ones also work.
Because I wasn't finding anything new in Capital District.
That's what I mean. I don't actually think they're adding too much new. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they had 3 of them.
Yeah.
And Saratoga doesn't put theirs on.
No. I wish I could
they
give you
would.
guys, so because I'm a certified planner, I actually get the APA one. I wish I could give those to you because they're amazing. I've been taking them all
We're
week
not
long.
eligible.
No, but I think the Ohio ones are pretty close to the APA ones. But like I was taking an e-bike training today. I was taking a training on all kinds of things. They're very up to date, like green infrastructure, all that stuff. Doesn't really change that much, but
In the good old days, the Saratoga ones were, I think, in October, November,
well,
before the weather got to be such a concern.
there is still the CDRPC ones are in October. The Saratoga one is in February.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're sort of opposite.
But they moved the CDRP one.
The October.
No, I think venue moved, maybe.
No, it's at Hudson Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to go, I think it was Capital District, used to be October in Saratoga.
Oh.
At the hotel.
Maybe.
And I would skip out on the luncheon and meet my friend next door at the O'Brien.
That sounds fun. That's all I have.
Okay, great. Open up to commission business.
Just want to say thank you. It's my last meeting. It's been a pleasure.
Moving on to bigger and better
Really
things.
appreciate it. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I just feel like starting with zoning and then doing planning has been really good preparation for what comes next. So all your voices will be in my head as reference as we move forward, and I'm sure you'll refer lots of great stuff to the town board.
Oh, we will. We
I
will.
really appreciate it. It's been a great board to be part of.
Great. Well, thank you.
Nice,
And
nice knowing you, Sarah. And
You've been
looking
a
forward to what you're doing.
amazingly excellent planning board member. We were
Yep.
very lucky to have you. I wish we could keep you, but I do think that you do great in your new role as well. But you caught on really fast, and you took a lot of attention to detail, and I think in particular, like you did a great job with GE.
Yep.
That's
GE
a
was
really
awesome.
big project. Just to get you guys excited about 2026, there's a new GE project coming in, and
all right.
it's going to be a big, they're really, really interested in Niskayuna and making that their place. So
New
that's
GE
cool.
Vernova project.
New GE Vernova.
Yeah.
I know you told me I got to make sure that I
Yeah,
use
yeah,
You have to
the.
just make the distinction.
Yes.
Jen.
If I say one, I should just say Vernova and not GE.
Yeah, that
Yes.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, that's good. And don't forget about that chairs vote, Sarah. Right? Make sure that goes over smoothly.
Oh, yeah. Then,
You know,
so,
no debates this time.
yeah, resolution up for me to be chairman for next
Yes,
year.
yeah.
And reappointment, I
Yep.
believe,
Yes.
for another 7 years. So again, just in addition to thanking Sarah for all that she did, I want to extend my thanks to all the planning board members and planning department and everyone that's been project leads on everything, or co-leads, or stepping in when we, have had, need to fill positions up here for alternates. It's sometimes a lot of work. Sometimes we're in the crosshairs and we take on some pretty heavy lifts, but I get a lot of feedback from residents on both sides of applications that are somewhat contentious. I get a lot of feedback from other projects that get a lot of really good attention, and they do appreciate the time that we put in on this. So it's nice to hear that every now and then, because sometimes you don't always feel it or see it, but I can tell you that, the planning department and all the other subsidiary departments that we interact with at the town level have been great, and always are good to work with. Referrals, they perform site visits for us, they make recommendations. The cross-reference work that you do with the county and other municipalities is always very helpful too. So again, thank everybody for another very good year. And look forward to an exciting 2026.
It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah. So I want to wish everybody happy holidays and very happy new year. So with that,
Same to you, David.
we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay.
Teams at it again.
So I'm going to give that to Mr. Laflamme, and the second was Ms. Gold. All in favor, state.
Oh, was it
All-
Angus?
No,
Was
no,
it-
no, it wasn't me. No, I
Okay.
didn't say anything. I actually said the same team again who both
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
instantaneously moved and seconded.
Okay, so to officially close it out, all in favor of adjourning, state by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Meeting is adjourned at 8:42. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.